on behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship Development, I welcome you to the PhD coursework examination, PhD coursework session on using management systems for effective research writing or academic writing. So, dear friends and dear students, candidates, my PhD candidates, we know that any educational domain or business domain is actually fueled by some research. If we take Harvard, find Harvard use some research to understand the learning pattern of their learners. Fine, and even any you just take a name of any business organization, either it is Amazon, Flipkart, fine, web-based retailing systems like Mantra, Jabong, or any service oriented organization like Infosys or TCS, fine, any organization, fine. Nowadays, because they are dealing with huge datas, I can say big datas, fine, even their decision making and strategy making is based on, I can say, research. So while doing research in current scenario is important, at the same time, acknowledging the research in the form of publication is very important nowadays. Like companies are coming up with the patents, companies are coming with their, you can say, the frameworks. The researchers are academic researchers are acknowledging their research in the form of research papers in conferences, or can you name some other forms where we acknowledge our research? I can say in the name of in books also. Yes, any one of you? Even the newspaper articles written by the experts, isn't it? So when we are moving towards
Blogs,
academic, yes,
educational
ma'am.
blogs.
Yes, ma'am. Educational blogs, exactly. And there are, as a digitization is being done, so there are so many resources, and even where I can contribute into, you all can contribute into, or you can take references. So similarly, it is applicable for the different resources where it is, where we can extract the information. Fine. Can I put all on hard mute because it will be difficult for me to. So those who will be raising hands, I will unmute them. Yes. So sorry for putting everyone on hard mute. Fine. So if you have any query during the session and you want to say something, you can unmute yourself. You can just raise your hand so that we can unmute yourself. I hope all will agree, because it will not be possible for me to control the things during the session when I am sharing the screen. I hope all of you are okay with this. You can just raise the hand and give your consent. Thank you, all of you. Right. So, as I was saying that, as it is important to do research, it is also important to confirm your research in the form of publication. Even national education policy is talking about that the quality of research writing should be improved. Fine. Another concern is that when we are taking references from others' work, it is also important to acknowledge in the form of referring their work and acknowledging while citing their while giving proper citation. Now when you are giving proper citation, you are actually acknowledging the somebody's other's work, and it is actually helping you to lower down the plagiarism in your work. Right? So reference management system are going to help you in that. So now why we need reference management system? Why not? Because if you all might have worked on Word, fine, MS Word, there is itself is a reference system where you can add references to your paper. So during demonstration of a tool, I'll demonstrate that how we can use MS Word to add references to your research citation, as well as how Mendley will empower that capacity, and how add-on features in Mendeley will facilitate you to do more things while managing your research work and specifically managing your literature review. Fine. Let us start our session. Fine. So let me share my presentation. I have prepared a presentation for you. Can you see the slides? I have kept Sunil Beki ma'am in the presenter window so that one of you can unmute and reply me. So I will.
Okay.
Okay. Ma'am, you are there, ma'am?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, so we would require your support. And if
No.
anyone please raises the hand, if they want to say something, please let me know. And even you can allow them to unmute
Okay.
themselves.
I think the people who have already raised, they can unraise it so that it becomes easy for us to
Yes,
identify.
yes, thank you. Ma'am, can you see the slide?
Yeah.
Fine. So today we are going to discuss about the reference management systems and what is their importance in academic writing, and specifically in research writing. And we will be taking Mendley as a research as a case study. Fine. How we can just install a reference management system. We can use it for academic writing and research writing. So as I told you that scientific research, the way we are writing our research and confirm our research in the form of either a journal article or a book or a thesis or a conference paper, fine. All these you can say attributes are actually an indicator of academic development. Fine. Now, when we are growing in our academic environment, fine, writing research papers, publishing those papers is an indicator of our academic development, fine, and they actually help us for the promotions and the faculty appraisals also, fine. So the this academic writing is not, part of our curriculums also. So you know that PhD thesis, dissertations, dissertations for project dissertations, fine, it is must. We were not doing it professionally earlier. Plagiarism checking was not the part of it, but nowadays, fine, the good universities are now concentrating on good dissertation writing, quality dissertation writing, by enforcing that students must use some kind of professional reference management system, and plagiarism of the thesis or the dissertations or the final year projects should be checked. So it is not only at the students level, but also at the faculty level, and also the research front in the in a big companies or different organizations. It is very important. Fine. So these tools, the reference management systems or the tools, they will help us to improve on the academic writing and get an extra edge, so that the quality of writing is improved. Fine. So as I told you, why reference management systems are required, because just right now someone of you confirmed that you have used different styles of writing, and the citations, like someone referred APA, Harvard or Vancouver. So these are what they are, just different ways of formatting, fine. These are different way of citing the work of other people, but there are so many variations. And when we talk about journals and different conferences, fine, they ask, they have different requirements sometimes. Now most of the you can say publishing agencies are sticking to the APA style of formatting, fine, but there are different journals which have their own requirement. So when you have to switch between multiple, you can say, referencing styles, it is very difficult for you to manually do all those things, switching from one citation style to the other citation style. So it was a nightmare earlier for the PhD thesis writers if they were asked to change the citation styles. But nowadays it is all just a click away, only because of reference management systems and the tools, different tools that are available. So can I say that introduction of these tools, fine, will decrease the complexity of the user at a great extent, fine. So whatever advanced feature, and we will just have a look at various tools which are available. So these tools are advanced as per the requirement of the users, fine, timely, again and again, so that they can match up the requirement of the users, fine. And these tools are somehow helping to avoid plagiarism in your research writing, fine. So can any one of you tell me that what is the difference between referencing, bibliography, and in-text citations? Any one of you? You can raise your hand. So Neha ma'am has asked. Yes, Neha, you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Referencing is basically, ma'am, if I am taking something from any other book or any other newspaper, I can give reference. For example, if I'm writing a paper and I want to take some facts and figures or tables from any book, so I can take that table or facts and figures, and below that I can write ki I took reference from this newspaper or this financial magazine.
Yes.
Bibliography will be the list of all the books or papers or magazines or online data which I'm studying with their author's name. And that will
Irrespective of that, either you have referred in your writing or not, you can
not.
include all those resources, fine, in your bibliography. But
Correct, ma'am.
references are something that you have, you can add only those resources which you have acknowledged in your research writing, isn't it, Neha?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Sabha, Rakesh sir, if you want to say something.
Good morning, ma'am. In-text reference would be when we are referring the name of the author within the text. Either
Yes.
it can be at the end of the sentence. Let us say I have referred the paper of Jethamal and all, so I will write
Yes.
the name and the year. Or
Mhm.
it may be in the form of when we write about the detail at the end of the page itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Exactly. Correct. So when we are talking about referencing, fine. So these three terms come to our mind. I hope my just one moment. Presentation is visible now,
Yes, ma'am.
and whatever I am highlighting is also visible.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So when we talk about referencing the scientific and referencing, so it is a scientific approach, right? So that whatever data sources we are taking from different resources, right? So the references will help us to identify those resources, search those resources, and retrieve those resources whenever it is required. So when I am, as exactly Neha said, that referencing says that only the resources which are referred in your research paper on or your thesis. But on the other side, by bibliography has the list of all relevant resources, irrespective whether they are cited in your writing or not. And as sir correctly said, that in-text citations are used to validate author statement. Suppose I have referred someone's work. I am working on, say, M governance, and XYZ person is an expert in M governance, and he has written a research paper on that, and I'm taking extracting few of her statements and writing in my own words, and I'm mentioning, and there if I mention the name of the writer and the year when or maybe other details. So how I will cite it all depends upon, fine, the way we are representing our things. Fine. I hope the presentation is still visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So it all depends upon which citation style we refer, either APA, fine. So whenever we are writing a paragraph and there itself or in within the line or at the end of a line mentioning the you can say details of the author and the publication details, that is known as in-text citations. And for those in-text citations, we give references, list of whole references at the end of our research writing, either it is a research paper or either it is a thesis, right? So when in all these three cases, fine, these reference management systems are going to help us. Fine. So as I told you, there are different styles of citation like Vancouver, APA, Harvard styles. Fine. So they are generally used in, they are based on either author or date format, or either they are in the number format. I'll show you when we will install Mendley, fine, how these styles will differentiate between how you refer some writing in the research. So their representation may be different, fine, but the information they provide and the purpose is very much same. So can I say what is the purpose and information they provide? So whenever we are citing, right, we are providing citation. What information a citation provide? Generally, the title of research, isn't it? Just fine. Whenever we are just mentioning, referring a research work, so suppose someone has written something, and here I am just naming the author, say Anil, and the year 2007. Suppose it is an APA style, and I continued like this. Fine. But if it is an APA style, or it is a Vancouver style, fine, or it is a Harvard style, in any case, at the end of day, all these citation styles provide the information about the title of the paper. Fine. Second information they provide is about the author. Fine. And details of the author. Yes. And other information they provide is source of the, fine, this publication. Either it is a journal, fine, or it is a book, or it is a website, XYZ, fine. And it also provides the date of publication. Yes. So when it is year of publication and sometimes specific date and time of publications. And another information that is added in most of the research publications is, if it is a book, then page number, fine, and other things. Okay. So whatever style we choose for referring, the information provided would be this. The representation will be different. Fine. So all these styles just differ in the styles, but the information and the purpose of all the citation formats is same. Fine. So the major limitation of is because of the diversities of the reference categories. For example, if I just look at the different references I can take from, as I told you, because of the digitization, so much knowledge is available in the form of journal article, in the form of a book, fine, if a part of a book section, conference proceedings and paper, dissertation and thesis on the Shodh Ganga, patents, information available in the patents, newspaper article, legal documents can also be referred, isn't it? Letters and the personal communications, fine, even the WhatsApp chats can be referred if we are talking about because last year at the same time we had uh, case of Sushant Singh, and the drugs mafia were under question, and because of that various chats were publicly available. So if it is regarding to a specific case, so some emails, some letters and some personal communications can also be referred in some research. Fine. Unpublished manuscripts, electronic articles, fine. Electronic articles over the web pages, fine. E-books, even I can refer to the softwares also. Suppose if I am comparing these reference management systems only, then I can refer to a Mendley as a software tool. Fine. So their reference where this tool is available for download. So all those things can be referred. The blogs, Neha rightly said that blogs, web pages are considered as citable data sources. Fine. Using the appropriate format. When we are doing it through the word or maybe manually when we are doing it, it is very difficult for user to write down or type down all the things manually. Then yeah, when you will start using these reference management system, you will understand these are the saviors for the researchers, and you will find out that all successful you can say research paper writers, researchers are using some or other tool for managing their references, because they, so that they can ensure the quality in writing rather than juggling with the formatting of the citations, the for and the different citations formats. Fine. So the purpose is so that the researcher can contribute into the quality of research rather than working on the formatting of your research, right? So that is taken care by your reference management systems. So what are the characteristics that we are going to, so as we are going to download our reference management system and we are going to see its usage? So what are the characteristics that I should look into a reference management system? That it should support or with it should support working with different operating systems. Either it is MacBook, either it is a Linux based operating system or the Windows based operating system. So most of you are using Windows operating system. I just Amit Karni sir confirmed that he is using MacBook, and sometimes he is facing those compatibility issues. So allow the organizations, another important thing is that organization must be able to create groups and folders, because if putting all the things at one place will not work in the reference management system. Fine. We should be able to organize our papers in different folders. Like if you are working on, say, fintech company, fine. Suppose you are working in a fintech company, so you will be interested in searching for some paper in financial domain, fine, and maybe other papers in technical domain, fine. So in technical domain, maybe you are looking for blockchain technology, fine, and other things. So it would be always better for you, fine, to organize financial domain papers in a different folder and technical domain papers in another different folder. So if your reference management system provides this kind of facility, that is an add-on. So it should, your RMS, in short, I will call it as RMS rather than I will abbreviate as RMS rather than saying it reference management system. So it should be compatible with most of the operating systems. You should be able to create groups and folders. It should be able to attach different files and preview the papers within the RMS. Fine. So what we do right now, we create different folders in different drives. So if your machine is having C, D or E drive, somewhere you create a folder, in within a folder you create multiple folders, and then you click over it. Then look, when you are looking into folder, say A, and suppose this is folder B, when you are looking at folder A, you cannot look at the contents of folder B at the same time. Fine. So searching a specific paper within a folder and throughout the whole research folder, it is a tedious task for the researcher. So let us, when we will see Mendley as a RMS, fine, you will find out that how the things are made convenient for researcher, fine. So exporting and importing file formats, fine. So if I want to add different file formats into my database, it should be possible. Integration with the word processor is very important, fine, because RMS is a third party tool, fine. How do we write our thesis? Generally we use word processor, and generally we use MS Office, yes, no, to write down our research work. So whatever RMS we select, fine, it should be compatible with our word processor, fine, and the database connectivity to facilitate literature search, fine. So it means this RMS as a system must have all my research papers, other things as a database, so that I can refer those things later on, fine. And customizations of reference styles, fine. So we will see all these characteristics, and I'll come back to this slide also when after discussing Mendley as a reference management system. So there are many reference management systems I have personally used, and not, fine. It is by Thomas Reuters, fine. There are the problem with the EndNote is that it is desktop based referencing system, fine. But nowadays, what is our requirement? Right now, say I am in office, fine, and I have worked on different, I created one folder on my machine, and then I had worked on something, and then at the same time, when I went home, I had a holiday of 2 days, and then again at home, I want to look into those fold papers that I downloaded and viewed. So what I need to do, either I will carry these papers which I have downloaded in the office in the pen drive, or Google Drive, fine, or any other way, fine, where I can, so that, or either I will do mail to myself, fine. What if you have your own reference management system? When you log in into the office, you can work over there. The changes are saved, and when you come back at home, again you should be able to log into that RMS, fine. And whatever the changes you had done in the office, they are still saved. Whatever addition, deletion of the papers you had done, it is still there. Whatever annotations you had done on the papers, it is remarked, it is saved there, and while coming back home, you can work on that. Isn't it would be more convenient to you rather than juggling between multiple resources? Fine. So these that's why, fine. So earlier the desktop versions were there, that was used only on a single machine, but later on web-based tools are available, so that you don't need, sometimes you don't need to install, you can work online also. And if you want to download that application, then you can have a desktop based referencing based system also. So both things are there. So suppose you are offline, fine, you are not connected to internet, still you can use your RMS for work, fine. So the only thing is, if you want to align those changes, fine, and want to look at those changes when you go to the office, in that case you have to switch on the internet and synchronize, fine, synchronize, so that those changes are done online also. So in that, for that, cloud services are used, fine. So RMS are also using cloud-based services, so that whatever you do on your local machine is also synchronized with your cloud copy, fine. So that when you can work from anywhere on your research data that is always there with you. So it is your option that sometimes if you have old data, you can go offline and you can start working on it. So it is not a mandatory thing that all the time you have to be online, right? So there are different reference management softwares. Fine, Mendley is one of them. EndNote is there, ReadCube is there, Zotero is there. So Mendley, EndNote, and Zotero are quite popular. Fine, I would rank them as fine. So Mendley and Zotero, I will say, are quite equivalent in popularity. EndNote was the very first reference management system, I can say, but it has been now overpowered by Mendley and Zotero. So as a case study, we can take one. So Mendley is the one which I have got a feedback from the researchers that even I am using it for a long time now. So I would recommend you that you can start working on Mendley as a tool. So there is a link here. You can go through this link, which is giving you a comparison on all these reference management systems. We can come to it later on because our agenda for today is to learn this RMS. So I'll not waste time here. So let us start. Now we have enough background for what is an RMS and how it can make our life simple. So let us start working on getting experience of an RMS. Right? So Mendley is one of the RMS which can be used. Fine. So what we will learn here. So what is reference management system? We are already done with this. Fine. So let us download it, understand how Mendley works, fine, how it is used for referencing and citing, and when it is I have to change from one referencing style from suppose APA to say Harvard, fine, or to say IEEE style of formatting. So how we can switch between different referencing styles. Another thing is how to merge the citations. Fine. So even we will understand that how to add literature pieces to Mendley through web resources. Let me come to these points one by one. So we will discuss them in, exhaustively. So let us first download the Mendley. Fine. So let us go online. I will not refer PPT now. Can you see my web browser?
It
No.
is showing like what is.
So I'm just sharing my screen again. I hope now it is visible. Yes. And so on Google, you can just go and type because I have uninstalled on my machine. Fine. So you all can just refer these steps because I will be parallelly installing with you. So you can just type Mendley Reference Manager. It is already there in my search. And the very first, so it will refer you to the Mendley site. Fine. So we can go to the reference manager. You have to accept all cookies. See, can you see the Mendley web portal?
It is Mendley Reference Manager, right? That's what we have to type it in the Google.
Yes. Or either you will type Mendley also. It will lead you to the site, this site only. Can you see it? Can you see my web page? Mendley web page is visible to all.
Yes.
Yes, right. So first thing that you can do is you can create your account now. So all of you create your account. I will sign in, but there is an option for create account. So all of you first create your account there. If you are done with the create account, let me know. It is very simple. So if you are done with your create account, I'll just log in with my account details. I am registered with my Gmail ID, so I can continue over here. It will ask you for the password. I'll sign in. Yes, all of you are done with the sign in. By the time you sign in, I'll just provide you some other information regarding Mendley. As you can see that Mendley is owned by Elsevier, right? So this is one of the, you can say, famous publication. So they help all, you can say, it's a, you can say, information analytics business. Actually, they are also into, you might have seen, Elsevier journals are listed in Scopus and Web of Science, right? So they are actually now in a global information analytics business, which also include publications, right? So I will give you a lead where you can learn about how you can write down quality research papers. Earlier I had typed, you can just click on Elsevier Research Academy, and if you just click here at Elsevier Research Academy, I will recommend it to all of you to register here, fine, and you can start learning, fine, how you can prepare for your research, writing for research, publication processes, fine, what is the process of peer review process, fine, and how you can communicate your research to different and you can say different platforms. So all this is free and it is online, fine. So all these e-resources are free and available in a MOOC form. So you can just register here on this Elsevier Research Academy, where you will come to know about various learning resources about writing quality research papers. Okay, so that is something you can start doing at your own. So it is free e-learning modules for research and development. I hope all of you by this time you all are done with the download of registration at Mendley. Yes, everyone is done.
Yeah, I have done.
Yes, you can sign in. And so once you are done with the sign in, fine. So we can go to the download sections, fine. So we can go to downloads and we can click on the reference manager. But don't, I will not recommend you to download Mendley Reference Manager right away. Before that, you start using, there are different other, you can say, patches of Mendley, like Mendley site is there, Mendley desktop is there, web importer is there. First, you start using Mendley desktop, fine. And when you are familiar with how to use Mendley desktop, you can go for the whole suite of Mendley Reference Manager, which have all these things, fine. So let us start with the Mendley desktop first. Don't go for the download of Mendley Reference Manager first, fine. So I'm just clicking on Mendley desktop, fine. Click on the download. maybe I would be quick enough to do it because you can do it later on, because somehow anyhow we are recording this session, fine. And if you will be facing any technical issues later on, you can always connect to us, fine. We will resolve those issues. So better we will now concentrate on how to use this tool for the academic writing. Okay, those who are able to do it parallelly, well and good. But if it is not done at your end, we can discuss those issues at later on also. Okay, so let us start. Right now I'm downloading it. Fine. If it is your Linux system, if it is your Mac operating system, fine. By default, it will take according to your machine configuration. So you don't need to worry anything about it. Fine. So you don't need to be very technical, sufficient, capable that to use this RMS. Anyone in this world can use RMS like Mendley. It is very easy to use. Even school kids are nowadays using these Mendley tools for writing some innovative things. So download Mendley desktop for the Windows. As my whole screen is shared, so you can see on the leftmost bottom that the Mendley software is downloaded. Agree, just click on next and just install. Because while opening it, you would require, it will ask you for the sign in. So you must create your account on the Mendley before you open it. Fine. Welcome to Mendley, all of you. Can you see that on screen? Sorry. Can you see the screen once again? Not this one, actually this one. Yes? The login credentials that you have registered with. Fine. So when you will be using it for the first time, it will give you some initial message so that you can use Mendley easily. So this is installed. Welcome to Mendley. To get started, fine. You can import different documents and libraries. So this is just a welcome message. So I can just close it. It is asking for citation plugin for Microsoft Word. We will do it because Mendley is installed. So let us understand the things one by one. So let me just close this pop-up message. Fine. So this tool itself is taking me to the journey. Can you just see here? I have put my mouse cursor on the file. Yes, Becky ma'am, can you see it?
Yeah, yeah, it can be easy.
And there is a plus symbol below it, and that plus symbol indicates add and create. So it means here, if you suppose you have already created a folder in your drive where you have downloaded all the papers, fine. So already all the paper you have done some work, and initially you have some folders where you have some documents. So here you can add and create your document library, fine, using this add symbol. And then whatever documents that are added, they are available in this library. There is a help button. Fine. Now this environment is there. I'll just increase the size of it so that you can view it clearly. Because I am using Mendley for a long time, and you can see downloading files. It means it is just fetching my all the documents and libraries from the cloud to this machine, because what we have downloaded Mendley desktop version, isn't it? And now we have logged into the Mendley desktop version. So when I have logged in online and I'm connected to internet, so all my work which I have done for the years and which is stored here will be fetched. Fine. So by the time it is synchronizing, fine, we can add something here. So let us just explore this environment where I can add. I'll click on add. So here I can add anything. So let me click. If you want to add the one file, you can click on add here. But if you want to fetch a whole folder, fine, you can click over here. So add files or add folder, fine. So it is your choice. So right now I want to just add a specific file. Okay, fine. So add file, and in my downloads, I can just I will just download any PDF file, huh? Suppose this document I want to add. Fine. Can you see here? This document is here. Here is my whole resources. Here, all my resources are here. Who is the author? Who is the title? When it was published? Year? Where it was published in? All details are either it is published in ResearchGate, wherever it is published, automatically it is coming. So it means this RMS is doing some work for you. It is extracting the details from your document and putting in the proper format. But because it is doing it automatically and by its libraries, fine. So it is you have to cross check. Always you need to cross check if the details are properly mentioned or not. Fine. Suppose if I am this is my paper, suppose one of my paper, and I want to refer this paper, and or suppose this is another paper. It is by Zurada, fine, and Jacket, fine. It is the paper is on data mining with conceptual intelligence, fine. So once you look here, you will get some details on the right hand side, that is this paper belong to a book or a journal. So you can select. So if it is right now it is mentioned in generic category, so it is not correct. It is a IEEE transactions on neural network, which is a journal. Fine. So is there any option for journal? Yes, it is a journal article. Can you see what are the other options? So right from it could be a bill, book section, case, computer program, conference proceeding, encyclopedia article, film, either it is a generic document, fine, it is a court hearing, journal article, magazine, newspaper, patent, report, fine, or a statute, television broadcast, thesis, or web page, or it's a working paper, anything. So almost everything which is into whatever is the broad domain, it can come under at least one of these types. So it is a journal article. Then you have to check that the title of the paper has come up nicely. But here mining M should be capital. You can do these changes, fine. Doing these small changes are okay, huh? So even the author name, because author name should be last name first. Yes, can you see these things? When I am clicking on Zurada, is it the first name or last name of the author?
Should be the last name.
Last name of the author, fine. So similarly, by default, the software has taken these details, fine. So I am just cross checking that if something is not correct, putting it in a proper way. Then the name of the journal is IEEE Transactions on Neural Network. You can specify the year, Fine. If I want to open up the paper, I can click here. Because database is just synchronizing, let it it's 80% is done because it's a huge data. So when I click over here, this paper will be available. So it is taking time. So by the time I can click on some other paper which is available. Or the one.
Just a query. Just one query what I had was like,
Yes.
once you pull the document into this software, you go to file, you take the document here, then you are saying we have to make the headings and all proper so that it gets saved in the same format,
Same
right?
name. Yes. So here it is coming. Details are correct. Once I will confirm with the details, I can click on details are correct. But some later on, if you have find out that you had clicked on details are correct and you want to make some changes and you want to update something, still you can update the more details. Like right now, I'm not sure about what is volume, issue, and pages. I can update these things later also. But by the time what is so as you can see in a paper, ISSN number is important. It has taken it correctly. Fine. DOI number is there. It has taken it correctly. Fine. So all these things, major things, it will do it automatically. Somewhere you can add more details by just looking at the paper. For example, if I'm so let it just upload it fully. Fine. There, then I can show you by that time. But right now, suppose if I just click on the details are correct, and actually I had uh, clicked on it. Fine. Details are correct. Fine. Okay. And let me just use this paper for citation. Okay. So let us use this paper for citation purpose. Okay. So now what we have done till now, we just opened the Mendley desktop environment, and by using add key, we could add files and folders. And so we just added one document, fine, and you could see that clicking on a document, one of the document, you can see the on the right hand side panel, you can see all the details and you can edit the details on which URL this paper is available. Fine. You can put the abstract, putting abstract and other things is not required. But you can, you must always check for DOI and ISSN number. Fine. And the year of publication, volume, issue, and page numbers if they are available uh, in the paper. Otherwise, you can skip those details. So now it is done. Fine. So by the time it is uploading, let us see that how I can use this RMS, fine, desktop version for citing this paper. Now you can see before we go to our Word, click over the tools, and because I need to synchronize between now Mendley as well as MS Word. So let me first open MS Word for you. I'll just see if MS Word document is open. Yes, it is open. Yes, this document. Fine. So this is a Word document. Here I'm just typing welcome to our session. Fine. And if I have to add references here in the Word, fine, as you can see, ribbon will open up, and here it's a inbuilt, you can say, citation management system of Word. Fine. So it is giving you an insert citation. So credit a source of information by citing a book, article, or other material it comes from. So let us do it manually. So what it is asking me, add a new source. Fine. So it means it will ask me from which source you want to refer. So suppose I have, I'm referring this, right, from a book, Welcome to RMS Session, and I can select here a book. Then I have to give the name of the author of the book. Say suppose I am the author of the book. And there are multiple co-authors. I need to give the name, then title, say reference. See, all things I have to add it manually. Huh? Reference management system. Year say 2000 and city say Pune. Fine, and publisher is say Tech McGraw-Hill or some other publication, say Oxford publication. You can have some advanced details also, fine. So for time being, I can have add OK. So when I click on references, by default, there are other options like styles. I can select from APA style, Chicago style, fine, Harvard, IEEE, fine. And these are some built-in styles that are available. I can, it is difficult for me to refer to the styles which are not available here. So that limitation will also be removed by Mendley, right? So suppose I am looking for APA style and here my citation is added, and if I will click on bibliography, fine. So I can select for built-in format. So suppose I want to add it as references. So the details are added here. Yes, this is the way if you are doing it manually to add some resources into your work while writing your research in MS Word. Got it? Now let us see. Till now in reference, Mendley is not visible. That was my objective of showing you this. And now I have to close this. Fine. So that I can just name it as and so I can just refer it as welcome to RMS session. And let us close it. Okay, and let us check if any Word document is open, because if I have to open a resource, Mendley plugin has to be installed, Word should be closed so that it can install plugin. Now I am back to Mendley, fine. So what if I have to, you can say, plug in Mendley desktop feature in my MS Word, then you have to click on tools and just install MS Word plugin. Fine. So I'm just clicking on install MS Word plugin and it is installed. Fine. It just take a fraction of a second and it is just installed on my machine. So I have to just click on OK. Fine. So let me open Word document again. So let me just check, open that, it's the same document, that welcome to RMS session, isn't it? So here I have clicked on RMS. Have you observed any change here? Any change you have observed which was not there earlier? I hope I am audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen this earlier?
Uh,
Mendley, open Mendley, it was not there.
Not there.
Right?
Yes, right.
Yes. So insert citation was there earlier. We added one citation manually, isn't it? This is the manual citation. We added it. Yes. Fine. So you, without looking at the resource, you added something in the insert citation, isn't it? So add a new resource and then you have to type all those things. Now let us do the similar kind of thing from the Mendley. Got it? So you just click on references, click on insert. Now this plugin is installed. Fine. Mendley plugin is now installed in your MS Word. So just click on insert citation. It will ask you to go to Mendley. Click on go to Mendley. We have come to Mendley. Now suppose I don't remember the paper which I wanted to cite here, and just I remember the keyword, say neural network. Suppose, right? So neural. So all the papers with that keyword will come. Can you see that the neural keyword is highlighted here? Neural network. Got it? So this way, and I can select which paper I am looking for. Isn't it very easy to search and refer to? And suppose if I am looking for some M governance paper, so I can just type M governance. Fine. If you just remember the name of the author, if you just remember the name of the publisher, if you just remember any keyword in the text also, if you don't remember any keyword in the title and you just remember some keyword in the text of the paper, that it will search it for you. Fine. So you can see here the papers with the keyword M governance will come to you. Fine. Say M governance in India. Okay, so I can select any one of the paper. So let me select, say, this paper. I have selected a paper. Have you see? Can you see the blue line?
Yes.
Click on the paper, and on the above tab, earlier this cite option was not there. Now it has come up. Yes, what it is saying? If you just see the arrow, send the citation to plugin. And where is our plugin? MS Word. So if I will click here, cite, this citation is added here. Got it? And if I want to update my references, so what I can do, I can just click on references, and because these references I added earlier were with MS Word. Now what I'll do, I will first delete this. Right? And I will insert bibliography from Mendley. Can you see? We got all the details about this paper. This paper is not added. So you must not do both the things at the same time. Like some papers referred with MS Word basic feature and some papers with Mendley. Fine. So try to use one RMS. Either the built-in if you are using, go ahead with that. Or if you are using Mendley, then use Mendley to refer all the citations. Got it? So this way I could add. Now suppose when I'm talking about, say, governance will help us So suppose M governance is giving us Someone's mic is on. Right? So suppose governance will help in fighting corona, and I want to add one more paper so one paper I have already added which is reflecting this view, fine, and I have taken reference from that paper, say, and another paper is there also. So what I can do, at the same time I will insert reference, I'll go insert citation, go to Mendley, and now I want to select another paper which is reflecting the same viewpoint, isn't it? So you will also come across, that is also known as cross citation, fine. When there you have 2 or 3 papers which are stressing on a one point, or they have one view. So what you can do, you can write down those things in your word, but still you have to acknowledge that paper from where that view is taken. So in that case, one reference I have already taken, and suppose I want to refer to the another paper, fine, and this paper is also reflecting the same view. I can click on cite, fine, and then you can see here automatically this second reference is added here in the references. So you can refer here your references. See, now your life is simple, isn't it? You do it once and you can use these references anytime and multiple times. So references are added here. Fine. And here also, this is not the right way of citing, where multiple authors and multiple papers have talked about a common viewpoint. What you must do, you must merge those citations, fine. So you first thing that we learned how to cite a research paper, that you easily could do it. Fine. Now how to merge multiple citations. So suppose I had added these citation and there are 2-3 more citations also. What you can do, you can select these two, fine. So I have selected these two, click on the references, and which option is coming now? Yes, merge citations, fine. So you can click on merge citations, and can you see core 2014 and technology et al. Et al means different authors, fine, and in 2011 also. So all will be separated by a semicolon. So rather than having different references, they are referred with one merged citation, because meaning is that all these research papers are talking about only this same viewpoint, right? So right now my references are in APA style. Suppose I have to publish in IEEE conference, so I have to refer to IEEE style. So what I need to do, go to references, click on the style, and then select IEEE style. Within a fraction of a second, you could do it, isn't it? And suppose now I want to change to Vancouver style, which was not there. I could not find it here, Vancouver. So suppose I want to have more styles. Here, there is an option of more styles, isn't it? So you can click on more styles, and you can install more styles in the, in Mendley, and you can use them. So suppose I was looking for Vancouver, it is already there. So I am clicking on use this style, okay, and clicking on done. So this is Vancouver style of referencing, fine. So could you see that easily, fine? I could add on the, I could format my referencing to the style which was not installed in MS Office and MS Office was not compatible with that style, I can use Mendley to download that style and integrate it with my Word document. Fine, isn't it convenient? So we have seen two things, that how to cite and how to cross cite. Fine, now if there are multiple citations, we can merge them. Let me come back here. By the time, yes, now you can see that all you earlier it was showing downloading. Now you can see that all papers are uploaded, isn't it? And if I click on all documents, search result, I'll clear the search result. Fine. I click on the all documents. Here are my old documents. Somewhere it is the number of how many titles are there. It is mentioned generally. I'm not able to see it right now. Fine. So I can just click on any of the paper. Even that paper, I can look into that paper. Yes. And I can make my annotations also, something I want to highlight into this paper to remember. So click on highlight. So highlight text. Sorry, it is not highlighting. Suppose if this is the part I want to highlight and say in this research paper I'm looking about some protocol, so I can click on that protocol. And the other things I don't want to bother about this research paper, because suppose I want to just look into these points, so I can annotate these points, right? And I want to save these changes, suppose. And suppose in this paper, this line was very important, like to overcome this part of the message was very important. So I can just highlight this. Fine. So this is done. And now I want to synchronize. Fine. So all, if you want to save all these changes on cloud, you have to click on sync. So when it is synced, all the changes are saved. Fine. So all these changes are saved. And here you can just click on, if I want to change it to say issue page number 28078 to 282. Fine. You can do those changes later also. Fine. And suppose if it is not a generic paper, it is a conference proceeding, say. So you can click on conference proceeding and all the changes are done. Got it? And here you can see I am logged in with my name. Your login name will appear here. And you can add some notes here also. If you want to summarize this paper, fine, because by the time you are looking at it and you want to prepare your own notes, fine. This paper talks about, fine, mobile ad hoc networks. And say governance. So I can save these things. Okay. So as soon as I'm compiling my literature review, I can select the important things so that I can always come back and see that what I had selected in this paper. So I can go back, fine. But till now, I'm looking in all the documents. Sometimes it is difficult, fine. Na? So what I can do, because if let us take the same example of a fintech, fine. So rather than it would right now it is a yes. You can see that 458 documents are there right now in my library. Fine, in my research management system desktop edition, I have 458 documents. Now it will be difficult for looking at the papers and searching it from the whole library. What I can do, I can create my folder. Can you see here? I just clicked on create folder. Let me just undo it. I cannot undo it. Can you see here? Create folder. So let us create folder for PhD coursework. PhD 2021. Fine. So you can create your own folders. So within that, suppose this folder is created. Okay. So I can click here in PhD 21. And within that folder, I can create another folder. So let us click on PhD, fine, 2021. We can edit whatever files are there, it should be synchronized. So you can click on that. So these things you can, you will understand later on as soon as you will start doing things. And you want to add some papers here in PhD 2021. So you can add or you can move some papers from the folder. Fine. Both ways you can do. Fine. So right now let us add some file. So let us say I am having this ICM brochure. Fine, and I am adding this as a file open. So specific files in the specific folders. Fine, I would found one another file in this folder. Would you like to review for import? Because I have another similar file. Fine, so it has given me an advice that the similar file is there. So you want to review or not? Fine, so you can review and consider that file in the same folder. Okay, so I just don't want it, so I can say no thanks, I don't want it. Fine, similar way you can create your multiple folders. Fine, so suppose I had some few papers regarding cyber security. Fine, so I have made this folder, and if I am writing a paper for a conference, fine, and I just want to have all those paper at one place, that I am going to use it for a specific conference or a specific research paper, then we can make a folder and we can put those papers here. So it is easy for you to search and refer them. Fine. Or if you have all the documents there, you can apply your search here. Got it? So this is the desktop environment of Mendley. There are basic features which can be used by any one of you. Fine. So there are two, three more things that I would like to add. So let us go back to the presentation mode. Yes, here we are. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Thank you. So, as I had already discussed with you, that you can so here you can annotate when you are reading the paper. Yes, no? You can save those changes. Fine, and you can access your library anywhere. Fine, so you can use you can have this desktop client at your home, in your office, and you can sync it. But sometime if you don't want to install it at your desktop, and you can use the web browser also to access your Mendeley libraries. Fine. So web browser option is also there available, and mobile app is also available. So user friendly mobile app is also there. So you can explore it with the mobile app also. And your library is backed up on the cloud. Fine. Na? When you sync, as I always told you, if your sync option is off, then you will understand. So when you will start using it now, you will understand either you are synced or not. So if the changes, if the paper you have added at home are not visible in office, in that case you can understand that your sync option was not on at home. So when you are going back home, you can click on the sync, so that wherever you access the your library, this reference management system resources, all the resources are synchronized and they are always available to you. Fine. So we have seen that Mendley citation plugin is compatible with Word. Fine. Even Word for Mac also. And in MacBooks, generally we use LibreOffice. Fine. So generally these reference management systems are compatible. Mendley is compatible with others or reference management systems also, but sometimes people find it difficulty. So on MacBook you can explore with Zotero also. Fine. So learning one RMS is mandatory. At you use whatever you want to use. There are EndNote is there, Zotero is there. Fine. Other some paid reference management systems are also there. So it is up to your choice. But at least, so don't do it manually. Fine, na? Or in the Word, because it is not that user friendly. So otherwise it will become a nightmare for you when you will be about finalizing your thesis and you are having around more than 100 or 200 research references to add into your thesis. So systematically start writing this literature review. You can start with the literature review. Already literature review format is shared with you. So you can start writing at least a review paper, that what is you can give the introduction, you can have the literature review, you have the background study, you can have the significance, and then you can come up with the objectives and the research gaps, and you can compile it into a form of a research paper. So that is not a research paper which is coming to a conclusion or a decision making, but it is about identifying a research gap. Fine. So the research paper is always about analysis. It is not true. Fine. You can come up with the research paper based on your literature review also, which identifies the gap which is available, which is not explored earlier, and coming up the area which can be explored by the researchers. Fine. So coming up with the open-ended problems which can be taken by the researchers. So you can come up with the literature review papers by this moment. And that was the idea, to introduce this RMS at this time, so that while writing your work, you must start using some of the RMS, so that you will that will become you will become habitual to use these resources, and it will improve the quality of writing. We are done with literature search. Yes, we how to create and cite on Mendley. Okay, and suppose some live literature is not there in my Mendley, then I can use this drag and drop feature also. Let me explain you this feature also. Suppose this is my Mendley and I am looking for a paper which is not here. Suppose I am looking about web scraping. Fine. Can you see I have no paper with a keyword web scraping, and now I suppose I have an interest in the area of web scraping, get data, surfing the website and getting some information from the website. So this is not here. Then what I can do, I can go to Google and I can download a paper on web scraping. Suppose I want to, I'm looking for PDF on web scrapper. Fine. And I'm looking for a document. Suppose this is a PDF. Fine. And here is a download available. So I can, full text is available. I can download. Any one of you is having an account on ResearchGate? If not, then you must create your account in ResearchGate library. Fine. So we will be having during our workshop on how to use ICT for research. Fine. We will be mentioning some of the web resources as a researcher where you must have your account. So just I'm going through ResearchGate paper. That's why I mentioned you here. You can create your account on ResearchGate community and you can start exploring it. So my paper is downloaded, isn't it? So I can use it. I can see it in a folder, and here you can see that this is my paper. Fine. And here it is my Mendley library. Fine. Now what I can do, I can simply drag and drop also. Fine. If this was not there earlier, I downloaded it. Can you see how can you see the copy option there on the Mendley desktop?
Yes,
So I can. So this is added on. Fine. So if you skip that where it is added, you can just click on the recent document. Fine. Fine. So you can click on the recently show all the documents which have added in last 15 days. So if I click on the recent documents, so these PDF, can you see that PDF data scrapping is came here? Okay. So this is how you can use drag and drop, and sometimes you find it a cumbersome, hectic task. Why to download it? Fine. So what you can do is, again, you can, rather than downloading, so it is you at the end of day you want to maintain it on your Mendley account. Why to download on machine and then upload it on Mendley desktop? So you can skip it. Fine. So the option for this is your web importer. Fine. So web importer is the application which is located on browser toolbar. Fine. If you are using right now, what we are using, we are not using the browser, we are using desktop, Mendley desktop. Fine. So we can explore the Mendley toolbar. And so it allows the users to import documents and literature pieces directly from the search engine to Mendley application. So no need to download it on your machine and drag it to the Mendley library. So if you want to directly import from the web to your Mendley cloud, fine, that is also possible. For that you can use a web importer. Fine. So where is the web importer? In the toolbar. Where is the toolbar? On the desktop. So desktop of Mendley application. So let us go to the Mendley desktop. Here you can see tools is there. Can you see we had already installed MS Word plugin. So there is no need to so if I will click here, so it will uninstall. So once the installation is done, it is done for always. Fine. So the next option, can you see install web importer?
Yes.
So I can click on install web importer. It has redirected it to my web browser, which is also visible. It is just taking some time. Can you see in red color get web importer for Edge? Because right now I'm using Edge web browser, Microsoft Windows Edge browser. So if you are using Chrome, you will get it from Chrome also. So wherever this window will open, so it will ask for get web importer for the Edge or whatever browser you are using for. So I have clicked on Mendley Web Importer. Fine. It is an add-on library. You can click on Get. So add Mendley Web Importer to Microsoft Edge. The extension can read and change all your data on the websites you visit. And it all depends upon you. If you it is your office laptop, you may not prefer to have these kind of add-ons. But if it is your personal laptop or a machine where you can have these kind of extensions allowed. So it all depends upon on a company policy. But on like educational organization like us, we don't have any restriction like this. So we can you exploit any open resource available on the internet unless until it is not causing any problem. Fine. So we can add extension. Fine. So it is being added. Here you can see Mendley Web Importer has been added to Microsoft Edge. Now what I can do, fine, to look at what is possible with this, I can just click on Google and looking for another document on Web Scrapper, and let me go to another document. Suppose this is the website where this PDF file is available. Oh, web scraping with Python. Actually, I was looking for it. Fine. So, what I can do, I can click on Mendley. So, right now I have not downloaded this file. Fine. I can, what can you see this Mendley extension added to Microsoft Edge where my mouse pointer is?
Yes.
And it is saying Mendley Web Importer has access to this site. So I'm just clicking on it. Fine. It will ask you to sign in. Fine. As I signed into the Mendley desktop, similar way you have to sign into the Mendley Web Importer also. So the same credentials, fine, that I have used earlier, I have to provide here, and I can continue. Password. So when research is going to be part of your life, you are not doing it for only academic qualification, because you will continue with the research for your entire academic, I can say, career. So you have to just invest into these skills where you can learn some online ICT tools who can help you in effective research writing. Just it is taking some time for signing in. It is done. No, don't save the password. Let it come. One reference detected on this page. So one resource is available. So what I can do, I can click over it and I can click on the add, and it will be added in my library. Fine. So if I just click this, I can add this book, fine, of entirely 354 pages into my library. So it is added. It is saying it is added. Huh? So let us move to our, let us check someone here. It is written, huh? View library. So you can click over here. And can you see, this is my Mendley web browser. and this is my Mendley desktop. So you can operate anyways, offline as well as online. So just start using it and try exploit this resource for your purpose. Fine. So this is desktop, and this is your uh, web resource. Yes, I have opened my web resource. All those things are there. Can you see cyber, IMED law, IEEE Pune Con, all folders that were there, they are also synced here. Got it, na? And what you can do, suppose you are collaborating with few friends, huh? That is interesting thing. Suppose two of you are working on a research paper, fine. So in that case, here is an option, interesting option, which is, just give me a minute. Okay. Can you see here groups? Let me create a group. Fine. So suppose Prakash is here in the group because in morning I had sent him a request for this group. Can I see? He's not there right now. Okay. So can any one of you just write down email ID on the chat box, and I'll send you an invite for collaborative work. Any one of you can just write down. So just for demonstration purpose. So Amar Chavan sir is there. I'll just copy this ID. Fine. And I'm creating this group. Fine. And I can just click it on create group. And I'm sending invite. So I hope this invite is gone to you. So create group. Okay, already it has gone, huh? Name your group is say PhD coursework. (2021). Let me create this group. ID, and I have sent invite. So this group must have created. By mistake, something I had done here. This was something wrong was created. I'll delete it later. But can you see PhD coursework 2021? And have you got any email, Amar sir? Amar sir, have you received any email? You can unmute yourself.
Yes,
oh,
ma'am.
Okay,
I
you got the email to join.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for confirming. So this way you can collaborate between 2-3 people who are working on a group, and they can also add papers into this library. So whatever paper they will add into, they will be added into this group only. Are you getting my point? So how convenient it is to work within the groups, fine, and you can have multiple groups. Fine. For one research paper, you can have different people. For one project, you can have different people. Okay, and for personally maintaining your research work, you can have different folders. So during the session on RMS, let me suggest summarize that. we have worked on different, we understood what is RMS and how RMS ensure that researchers can efficiently write the research paper. They can refer their paper, they can cite properly, they can shift between multiple styles, they can cross reference, they can use web resources for referring, fine. And how you can organize your files and folders within an RMS so that you can manage your resources well. And all these resources are available to you online wherever you would like to work. And if you synchronize it on your mobile, then it is very quite convenient that you can always synchronize with, you can keep on moving with your research work. So that's, and we practiced Mendley, and you can practice it at your end. I'll stop sharing now. And that's all from my side. Now this is open for your question answers, and you all can ask questions one by one. You can please raise your hand and have your queries one by one. I hope you found it useful and you are keen on learning this software.
Hello, Baljit.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Baljit. This is Gautam Billore.
Oh, great, sir. Great to have you, sir, in this session.
Thank you, ma'am. I have been hearing to you in this session.
Okay.
I wanted to know, can we use, first of all, the session was very good, very informative,
Thank
and
you,
very
sir.
clear.
Thank you,
I
sir.
wanted to ask, like, can this help us in writing a systematic literature review paper?
Yes, sir,
Review
very
paper.
much. Yes, sir. Actually, these reference management systems are used for um, including your literature review into your research paper only. Because the main agenda of using these RMS or any reference management tool, either it is EndNote or Zotero, fine, it is for the literature review. So when we are writing down our literature review, what we exactly are doing, we are identifying some a summary of some research paper and referring to that summary in our literature review. So when you write down text that summary, within I just explained in the initial part of the session that we have to provide in-text citation. It means wherever you are writing down that reference or you are writing down that phrase from the literature review, there only you have to mention in-text citation and you have to use this tool to cite that reference.
Okay. So that will be great help to prepare a tabular literature review paper, wherein we can refer different articles.
Not exactly the tabular. So we can export these files like into a CSV format. Yes, we can do. A tabular format can also be created. So the next part would be once you select a paper on the, I'll just show the reference management system. This is the RMS and here are all the papers, all the documents. You can just click on any document and you can prepare your notes. Here from this paper,
Okay.
suppose this paper is, I just click on this paper.
Yeah.
This will open up, sir, just 1 minute. Let me click on some other. Yes. So this paper is available here. And suppose if I want to highlight something, because I have just gone through whole paper and I just could find out that only a portion of it is useful for me. For example, I just want to highlight a specific part like type of services. Fine. So I can just select that part and from that I can write my own comments like useful. And this note is always saved. Yes. So, and other details that are like author, journal, year, other details like you can always change the volume. You can edit it, but it is already retrieved by the resource. So my headache is less that in which format the author name should be there. So already it is, the tool is accepting all those things by default. The only thing is human intervention is where I need to just supervise it. It is done correctly. So here I need to just look at that the paper title, the type of document is selected correct or not. So I have to just look at it. It is not a journal article. If it is a magazine article, so select that. Accordingly, the details will change in the lower part of the, you can say, see the details. So all these things will actually help me when I have to cite this document in the Mendley. So I hope you had seen that part, how to cite it with the Word document, sir.
Yeah, I am using Mendley. Actually, I have been using Mendley.
So I just
only thing is I wanted to know that few tricks how to use it for more efficiently writing a review paper. So when you are explaining, we can also actually filter the papers on the basis of keywords or on the basis of certain framework. So we can easily do that.
Yes.
Actually, Sonia was also had joined me in this, and she was also appreciating like, yeah, there are many ways to use Mendley. She would just like to thank you for that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Great to have both of you.
Thank you so much. I'll contact you later on this, please.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay, my question is answered.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, anyone else is having any query? You can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, my query is like Mendley we are using, but other than the Mendley, do we have any other RMS software that will be a more something like what the Mendley has, something different thing?
Actually, if I compare Mendley, so Zotero is something which is quite comparable. The similar kind of functionalities are available in Zotero. So once you download and start exploring, so it is one and kind of same. So the only difference is the way their interface looks like. Otherwise, Zotero and this is same. And the EndNote is something which was quite famous earlier, but nowadays EndNote is, I can say, overpowered by Mendley and Zotero because of their functionalities. Earlier, EndNote was only a desktop application. It was not a web-based application. But as these tools keep on adding more features and more features, so the 10 years back, the way I started using Mendley, it is not the same. So just now, today in today's session, I just help you to understand Mendley desktop version. So we have not exploited the Mendley RMS as a whole, because there are many plugins within the Mendley itself which can help you in more creative writing. So that so in one session it cannot be covered. So we will have this future session sometime later where we can exploit more features of the Mendley.
And
At least now you can start exploiting this tool for writing some research papers.
Yes, and ma'am, one more thing. Suppose in a HRM book, I had to be in explore something that is being is being written from a related to the research paper. So how that specifically I can get cited on my literature review, that books and everything, the certain line and the everything.
See, when you are selecting a specific line or a paraphrase, it is always not recommended to add more than 8 words, common words from a paraphrase, from a phrase.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am.
At least you have to rephrase it, but still you have to cite that particular document because the idea is from that document.
Okay.
You should not copy exactly the same thing from your, if some definitions are there or if some hard statements are there, that you, in that case you can put double quotes over there. So double quotes are generally ignored for,
So I
I
can
think
give you the
someone's mic
in-text
is on.
citation, right? Yes, ma'am.
Extra one thing what I do, I'll first mute all and then you can unmute yourself if someone's mic is open. Yes. So please unmute now.
Ma'am, so in this case, I can in-text the citation also, right? For that specific paragraph line or either definition or something.
Okay, what you are saying, sir? Can you repeat?
Like, suppose in a HRM book, I want to take a specific content. Suppose the definition of XYZ thing or theory or something. So either I can put in an index citation after writing in a literature review.
Yes, you can. Sir, you must use in-text citation. It means the time you are writing that statement, there only you have to add. You have to just click on the site and add that reference there itself.
Okay, okay. And as well as I have to inform, like in a reference also, I have to even add that thing, right?
No need to add into
no
reference. Automatically, the references list is generated for you. So in text, so there are two things, sir. When you write, fine, you put your Mendley will put an in-text citation there, fine.
Okay.
And by the end of your paper, you have to just click on the references. So all the references will get jotted down. So I demonstrated it to you
yes,
that
yes.
how you can just add a specific reference, and when you click on the references and the bibliography, all the references will come automatically at the end of your paper. You don't need to add references separately. It is automatically done by Mendley as a tool. So first, what I'll request you all is to just start first download it and start using it. And wherever you get any difficulty, you can just text me for the same.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, a question, please.
Yes, sir. Pramod, sir, you are welcome, sir.
Yeah. You spoke about the web application of Mendley. Does it have a separate cloud server space for each ID, or do we have to use our G drive?
No. We don't need to have our only G drive. You can create it with any of the ID. So whatever ID you create with your Mendley account, fine. So just try. All of you could have created. So you don't need to log in through your Google Drive. So you can create it with any other ID from. I can like Amar sir can have it from Bharati Vidyapith ID or any XYZ ID. For each user, a cloud space is maintained at Mendley. It is not
Wonderful.
shared with any other.
Yeah, wonderful. That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. And anyone is having any query? So otherwise we can lower down the hand so that we can understand if anyone is having query.
Yes.
Just downloaded it.
Sorry. Yes.
Baljeet ma'am, Priyanka is here. I have one question that I have already downloaded the Mendley and working on it. If I have any query regarding to download the research paper and citing the references, so that time should I call you or message text you?
Ma'am, you can always text me. Fine. So I'll get back to you. Or so you can always put a query on your research group, because so one query will, if one query is answered, it would be answered for everyone. So you can always, so we have our research groups. If you can put your query there, so we can answer there also.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
So I hope we have answered all the queries. So before closing this session, I would like to thank our Honorable Director, Dr. Sachina Suvarnikar, for giving us this platform to interact with the research scholars and communicating with all the research community. So all the students from the different research centers, and it was my pleasure to have interaction with you all for the first time, because earlier we were meeting for the as a course coordinator. So it was the first time that I had a session with you regarding delivering some content on some specific topic. So I hope you all enjoyed this session and added into something more into your knowledge bank.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all of you for your wonderful feedback.
Baljeet, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, just a request. Actually, like we had an IMA has an FBP, that is an Atal. So Venika sir has taken in one session on the last day, that is 8 mantras of success.
Yes,
Can we have for our PhD students, ma'am? That is really a good session by the Venika sir.
Yes, I'll talk to sir regarding the same.
Yes.
And we will surely have him. And the request is that this session was planned in between, because so that you can all, because you all are in the beginning of starting with your research work. So I request all of you to write down a research paper specifically for our upcoming conference, that is on 8th, 9th and 10th of July. So that is AICT sponsored international conference on emerging markets. So it is compulsory, actually kind of mandatory to all of you to write down one research papers. And I have discussed with you that the end dates are extended. You can submit it by 25th, and in special cases we can extend it more, but try to submit a good research paper based on your subject area, which is related to emerging markets. Every research area can be related to emerging markets. So all of you are required to submit one research paper.
Yes, ma'am. Surely.
And this boost will help you to speed up your work, and you will get some when you will be there having one research paper in your hand, first publication. So I hope all of you would. It would be a great achievement for all of you, and it will speed up your research work also.
Ma'am, one request, please.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah, the way somebody referred to Dr. Vernika's session, if you think there are other sessions which have been conducted and would be useful to the research students, you can probably share the recording on the common drive. And, if you just make a mention, people can look up the recording.
Yes, sir. Actually, that session is already recorded, but I will just check with sir if sir want to, because it is always good to sir is always available for the PhD research students, and so I will first discuss with sir, and that is a good suggestion, sir. Pramod sir, we will keep one more folder, because we have maintained different folders for the research methodology and different recording folder for the computer application. So.
Yes.
I can maintain another folder for extra sessions, fine. So we can, no doubt, we will do it. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, it would help, because people don't have to be seated like this, and
yes.
You get a wider array of impressions.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
So our time is up. So with all your feedback and suggestions, so let me close this session. So I'm very thankful to our Honorable Director, Dr. Sachina Swarnikar, and even our management of Bharati Vidyapeeth for giving this platform for faculties as well as researchers to share their knowledge. So thank you all of you. So now you have the next session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.